all, our all in all, the Savior, the Protector, the Unifier, the Messiah, the King of Kings, the most loved, General Abdurrahmani Chiani has visited Ethiopia. You know, Africans, we always say we want to unite. We want to come together as a people to fight all these insurgencies. And the reason to which these people are always having their way in Africa and to do to us the way they always do to us is because our defense system is very weak. So what are we supposed to do now that we know the problem is the defense system? We have to unite as a people, because until we come together as a people, we can never defeat Yellow Popo. Yellow Popo has devised this system called the divide and conquer. So that has worked for them perfectly. And that is the reason to which Africans, we need to come together as a people to be able to defeat these people. Until then, the African can never defeat Yellow Popo, because these people are together. They are united and they are fighting us. And if we are divided, fighting among ourselves, how do we fight the enemy? So Ethiopia has decided to join AES. Yes, you heard me right. Ethiopia, we know, has also come out with a very beautiful thing, manufacturing their own ammunitions. And if these people are manufacturing their own ammunitions, and we know that Sahel, they are also suffering from insurgencies, and not only Sahel, even those who are eating democratic elected, you know, Tinubu's country, and they are also suffering from these insurgencies. But always they point fingers at Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso, because they are doing the right thing and they have decided to move out of the oppression. Yes, so they always point fingers at them. So they met and they are talking about a lot of things, defense and security, and how to strengthen ties, and how we can come together as a people collectively to fight, work together and fight oppression. We have to always, as a people, know that the unity is the only thing that the African need to be able to defeat anything that is worrying us. We don't need any other thing apart from unity, because when we unite, these people wouldn't be able to use us against ourselves. The dirty work, we have been the ones doing it for these people. They always use us against ourselves. So we've seen what they were doing to Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso. They were using Côte d'Ivoire and Benin to fight Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso. But if we are united, there wouldn't be any loophole that these people can capitalize on it to use it against the other. And that is what Abdurrahmani Chiani is doing. And we are so excited that Ethiopia is drawing closer to the winning team. Yes, anybody that we've seen that is moving closer to Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso, then we know that president or that leader is looking for the liberation of his people.
Accompanied by senior officials from his ministerial department, conducted a working visit from February 25th to 27th, 2025 to the Federal Democratic Republic in Ethiopia. Summaries with Abar Amiti.
This visit by the Minister of State, Minister of National Defense, Army Corps General Salif Modi is part of the diversification of partnerships in the field of defense, which the National Council for the Safeguard of the Homeland has committed to since coming to power on July 26, 2023. During his stay, the Minister of State, Minister of National Defense held talks with his counterpart, Mrs. Aicha Mohamed Musa, Minister of Defense of the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia. They discussed several topics of common interest. And after this meeting, the Minister of State, Minister of National Defense, Army Corps General Salif Modi attended a presentation on the management of certain aspects of Ethiopian defense, including, among others, the management of the Ethiopian Armed Forces in terms of mobilizing human resources, empowering air and ground forces, and combating armed insurgency. During his stay, the Army Corps General Salif Modi also met with Kasi Yilma, the Acting Director General of Ethiopian Aviation University, which regularly hosts Nigerian military trainees. Furthermore, the day of February 27th was entirely dedicated to a series of visits. The first stop was the main airbase of the Ethiopian Air Force, located in Bishufu, about 50 kilometers from the capital, Addis Ababa. Upon arrival at the airbase, which houses the Ethiopian Air Force headquarters, the Aeronautical Maintenance Center, and the Ethiopian Air Force Academy, the ministerial delegation was warmly welcomed by General Yilma Mendersa, Chief of Staff of the Ethiopian Air Force. After a brief meeting, the Minister of State, Minister of National Defense visited the facilities of the Ethiopian Air Force Academy. the Technicians College, the flight school where he was introduced to all the training opportunities for aircrew. The end of the visit was marked by a summary meeting which allowed the two parties to redefine a cooperation plan. The second stage was the visit to the Defense Engineering Industries, a state-owned public establishment primarily responsible for enhancing the capabilities of the armed forces in terms of vehicles, weaponry, and ammunition, and which also handles the maintenance, modernization, and upgrading of vehicles and armored equipment. After these visits, the Minister of State, the Minister of National Defense made a point to visit the premises of the diplomatic and consular representation of Niger in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, where he interacted with the staff. The visit of the Minister of State, the Minister of National Defense, Army Corps General Salif Modi, ended on a note of satisfaction.
Africans, we have been suppressed for a very long time, and it is high time we ourselves say no to oppression and fight for our freedom. We are very glad to see that Ethiopia is also moving towards Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso. And this is how it's going to be gradually before the other ones will also come to join hands. We've seen that they are manufacturing their munitions, and we need all these people to come together to form a collective group so that we will be able to defeat oppression. We can never defeat these people individually, and that is why Africans, we need to unite. And that is the reason to we these people are doing everything possible to make sure that we don't unite. And we've seen what they are doing to DR Congo. Yes, this is how they always want Africa to be. So that they sit there and be tagging us, the Africans, we like war, as if they don't fight. They also fight among themselves. But we have to always remember that we are one people. These people always make us believe that we are different. We can never be different in the same skin. As they are there calling themselves Europeans, we've seen that they have French, we have Italians, we have the Germans. They are different people who came together to form the European Union, just like Africa. And these are the people who came into the continent and partitioned us. We were living as one people before these people came, as kingdoms. We never saw ourselves to be different. But they realized that before they can defeat us, they have to create that enmity and division among us. And that was what they did during the Berlin Conference. Until date, Africans, we are still sitting here crying for unity when we don't want to unite ourselves. Like Dr. Kwame Nkrumah was trying to do, and Muammar Gaddafi as well. We have to unite. That is the only way these people can be defeated. And until then, Africans, we have to stop wasting our time meeting in our summit, crying for unity, because talking wouldn't give us the unity that we want. Now that we've seen that Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso are doing everything possible to stand up to these people and fight oppression, that is the time we all have to go there and unite with these people, not for us to sit there and be singing the songs of these oppressors that they are undemocratic. What is democracy? When the people are not living and enjoying the mineral resources that they have on their land. Is this what we call democracy? And democracy when the people can only voice out during the day of election, and aside that, unless the next 4 or 5 years before the people can speak? No. Even with that, how sure are we that the people that we decide to vote for are the ones that we get? Because Yellow Popo is always around to decide what happens at our elections and after the elections. So we have to make sure that these things, we fight all these things that these people have created to create the division and be winning. So we are glad that Ethiopia is also joining, and these people are doing everything. They are trying to strengthen ties in every aspect, and that is what we have to be doing as a people, because we need to fight these people. It has been long overdue. The Africans are still here fighting among themselves, talking about how different we are, still holding on to these systems that these people have created that is dividing us every blessed day. We can do it. We know we can do it because we have always been doing it. We have to pay no heed to these people's songs that they are singing and remember that we are one. So now that we have Ethiopia with all the technology they also have and their ammunition moving towards AES, it is high time we see any other person with this kind of development and who wants to really move his country forward, teaming up with AES, so that together we make the nation and the continent a better place for all of us to live. United we stand, divided we fall, and united we keep standing forever and ever. The greatest enemy of the African is mental slavery. So let's decolonize ourselves from mental slavery. So let's keep sharing to educate our brothers and sisters. Together we make Africa great for ourselves and the next generations that are going to come. So that's the latest around the world, in Africa and in Niger and Ethiopia.